Alright YouTube, welcome to my tutorial of how to make airbrush stencils. This is mainly for my subscribers and people who have asked, how do you do it? Well, this is the final video to show you how to do it. First off, you're going to need to start with your drawing, like these three skulls. You won't find these three skulls anywhere on the internet together because they're photoshopped, and I don't claim them to be my own, but the wings on the side are just sketched in to make my design a little more interesting. Okay, so you're going to need your drawing, preferably make a couple copies just in case you screw up, or you can just take it right from the internet, whatever you prefer. And you're going to need a thin plastic. You can use overhead sheets, but I'll provide the link to the tools that I use and the materials also. You're going to need a stencil burner, and you can see it has a fine tip, much like a wood burner. It gets nice and hot, cuts through the plastic like butter, makes your stenciling so much easier. I'll also provide a link for where you can get that in the sidebar. Okay, so first what you're going to do is you're going to want to go around the entire outside. I don't know if you can see it, but I've already gone around the outside and you can see how the pencil follows a line, makes noise. So yeah, you need to separate your positive and negative space. So once I do that, I've already gone around for the video purpose and cut around the entire outside. Now I'm going to pull it apart and show you what it looks like when you get both your pieces. Okay, now that I separated the two, on here I still have a piece of plastic that you can't really see, but you can hear me picking at it so you know it's there. That's your positive, and that is the negative right there on the table behind it. In some cases you won't need this, but in the case of this design I'm going to. So once you have those two separated, it's more or less you have to go in and do the detail cutting and to cut lines and such inside so that you can pull out shapes kind of like the eye. You can cut that out because you know it's going to be a dark color, or you can cut fine lines in between the teeth. Just don't cut all the way through, because if you do, your stencil is going to fall apart. So that's what you don't want to do. So in the case of that, to give you an example, it's called bridging. For this line right here, you'd go about up to here, and then you'd stop, make a tiny little gap, and then continue your line up around this way, so that you'll have a tiny little spot missing, but it's not much to fill in with an airbrush. Same with the wings. Instead of cutting all the way through this line, bridge it a few times, like a relief cut in woodworking. Cut up to here, make a gap, and then cut on, all the way out to the outside. The more cuts you make on the outside, the more flimsy your stencil will turn out. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do a couple of those cuts and remove some pieces and show you. Always save every piece you cut out, because you don't know if you will need it or if you won't. Alright, so I'm going to put this back down and I'm going to do some more cuts. Okay, I've gone through and I've done all the cuts that I need to do, and now there's tons of cut marks all over the place. And first I'm going to start off by might need a hobby knife to do these, but start off by removing the pieces that I won't need for, oh I guess, there you go, now you can see it. That's the left wing. Now we're going to take off the right wing. Once you start cutting it, it sticks to the paper, and there's the right wing. Now I'm going to take off the skulls. Be very careful when you peel these off. You can ruin hours and hours and hours of work depending on how long it really does take you, but yeah, you can ruin hours of work just by peeling too quick, and you tear your stencil, and sometimes you tear it to the point where it's no longer no good. You see pieces falling out, eyeballs and such. Okay, so now that's what I got. There we go. Okay. There's no eye here, but there's one stuck here. There you go. Okay. So you can see all the cuts that I've made, and now I'm going to show you how to stick it onto a shirt. Okay, and for the actual stencil cutting, when you take the tip, mine's kind of bent on a little bit of an angle because I only go in one direction. You're going to want to hold it much like a pencil. Push the black safety guard all the way down, and you push it down, and then you go much like a pencil, and you can see it kind of draws a line on the paper because it's so hot it's burning the actual paper. Yeah, you can do pretty good designs and such. Yeah. So anyways, you kind of get the idea. You just always kind of pull away from yourself, I guess, and as you're doing it, the plastic builds up on the tip. Just find a spare piece of paper and kind of do a motion like this. It gets it all off, or you can keep a wet rag around, or just whatever you want to use. Okay, hope that was helpful. Okay, now that I have everything set up for the how I get the stick part of the shirt, this is how I've done it. Everyone asks, how do you do it? How do you do it? Well, this is it right here. Elmer spray adhesive. You pick it up at almost any art supply craft store for probably under $6 or $7. So, anyways, on to the part. Now that you have everything laid out, this is the right way. This is the way it's going to be put onto the shirt. So you're going to want to take everything and flip it over to its backside. Now with that said, everything's flipped over. Shake up the can. A couple little test sprays. Okay. Now, just go lightly over everything. Okay. And in case you're wondering if this stuff is actually really sticky, like, yeah, just from my fingertip hanging over, I've got it everywhere. Whatever this stuff gets on, it will stick to, including the floor, because I just have a big piece of cardboard laid out, because that's how I do it. Okay, so now we're going to skip onto the part of the shirt where I show you how I do my paintings. Alright. Okay. This is the part where people always ask, well, what do you put your shirts on to keep them so straight? This is just regular old corkboard, and you can see that the designs that go through the shirt hit the corkboard, and you can pick one of these up for about $15 to $20 at Walmart or Zellers or wherever you guys go shopping. So yeah, just grab yourself a big corkboard, and that'll handle all your big stuff. And this is how I do my my girl shirts, because obviously the girl shirts are much smaller. So this is just a regular old canvas. You can see, yeah, that's the name of it. So you can go pick one of those up at a canvas store. This fits all girls smalls, extra smalls, and the mediums are kind of iffy. So go pick one of those up and you'll have yourself set for all guy shirts and all girl shirts.